go. Squad up, never roll alone. And we gon' ride on forever. We ride out together. Pull up right in your zone. Take over the street, that's how we roll. And we gon' ride on forever. We ride out together.
Hi guys, my name is Trevor Formula, and in this video I will be reviewing the 2015 Belgian Grand Prix at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. Now, the Belgian Grand Prix is the first race of the second part of the season, coming out of the summer break. The previous race was the Hungarian Grand Prix back in July, and that was won by Sebastian Vettel, making that his second win of the season. So he was a driver we were looking out and hoping for good things of. Another driver was Daniel Ricciardo. This time last year, the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix, he took the checkered flag, making that his third victory of the season. He won the Canadian Grand Prix back in 2014, and more importantly, the 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix, making it a back-to-back win from Hungary to Belgium. That was his third victory for the young Australian driver, and we're hoping to hear good things for the 2015 season, especially for the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, the Grand Prix got underway with Lewis Hamilton in pole. Lewis Hamilton had not a very good Hungarian Grand Prix, trying to make amends for it in this race. Starting on pole position for the race would be a fantastic start for the British driver. From the start, Sergio Perez leapfrogged Nico Rosberg into second place, challenging Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the race. Coming from Le Rouge into the corner after the long straight, he almost got a lead but had to settle for second place. Coming around the race, it was sort of leapfrogging between the drivers in the main field. Nico Rosberg having a bad start from his second place, getting overtaken from drivers. On lap 14, Valtteri Bottas came in to pit. A bit of an error in the pit stops meant that he had 3 soft tyres and 1 medium tyre fitted to his car. Now, this is something that I've never seen in Formula 1 before, and the regulations from the FIA state that only 1 compound can be used on the car. I thought that Valtteri Bottas would have received a heavier penalty, like a fine or even disqualification from the race, but in the end he got a drive-through penalty, which he did serve on lap 16. He didn't then come in, he pitted again, but he didn't come in immediately to change the 2 compound tyres that he had on his car at the moment, and he stayed out with the 2 compounds on the car. It didn't give an advantage in his lap times, and if it did, the stewards would have probably given him a heavy penalty or forced him to pit again. Daniel Ricciardo, after his win in the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix, unfortunately had to park up after he had hydraulics failure after heavy braking coming in, as he was cut up by a couple of the cars coming into the pit lane. So he pulled over to the side just at the start of the start-finish straight with hydraulics failure and had to retire from the race, which was a real shame for 2 reasons. One, as I stated before, which was that he came in first place with his 3rd win of the 2014 season at Belgium, and second of all, after the Red Bull's fantastic double podium at Hungary. They would have hoped for a fantastic race with both drivers hopefully getting on the podium or getting some good points or even the victory, and that was taken away, especially for Daniel Ricciardo after his win in Belgium last year. Sebastian Vettel had a good race up to a few laps to go. He was definitely pushing for the win in first and second place, between leapfrogging Lewis Hamilton for the victory, which was fantastic. I would love to have seen him take the checkered flag after he did in Hungary, but it was not to be when he had a puncture on the penultimate lap coming out of Eau Rouge. He then had to limp home, and it was not going to be a podium for Sebastian Vettel, which he hoped for, which both Ferraris were hoping for as well. Speaking of the other Ferrari, Kimi Raikkonen pulled over to the side with failure. As the stewards came to retrieve him, the car decided to start on its own. When he realised this, he got back in the car. He was sort of going to step out, but then he half got back in the car, told the marshals to push him on to a side road which was facing the track, and then he drove on in the race. Much better than a retirement, which originally was on the horizon when he pulled over to the side with a problem in that Ferrari car. When the checkered flag came on lap 43, Lewis Hamilton took victory, equaling Ayrton Senna's record, the 3-time world champion Ayrton Senna, a legend in Formula 1. as he equalled his career victories, Nico Rosberg, his teammate from Mercedes, came in second place. After the disappointment in Hungary when neither Mercedes drivers made it onto the podium. Third place was taken by Romain Grosjean, the French driver for Lotus. Romain has had a sticky few years since his better years in 2012 with Lotus. And speaking of that, in Belgium in 2012, as we all remember, the crash which was caused by Romain Grosjean into La Source in 2012, turn 1. Then he made his podium after that. And speaking to David Coulthard on the podium afterwards, said that that's all he thinks about when he goes into that corner. It's a fantastic result for him and the Lotus drivers. It was Romain's first podium since the US Grand Prix in Austin in 2013. After Pastor Maldonado's terrible crash in free practice and his many retirements this season, he pulled over to the side and retired from this race quite early on. So Romain sort of lifted the spirits of the two drivers after the retirements of Romain Grosjean and Pastor Maldonado through the season and through 2014 when the car was unreliable. But this year, with the Mercedes engine, it was hard to see how they could have engine problems with the reliability of Mercedes, looking at the actual Mercedes team and how strong they are. The two McLarens were mentioned very little on commentary. That's because they had a very poor weekend. Their qualifying positions weren't to scratch at the back. They always start at the back after their terrible performance, the car reliability, and unfortunately it wasn't to be. Both drivers didn't perform this year. Unfortunately, McLaren still, even though they started the second season, still not performing how they would have wanted to. So it's a definite disappointment for them. But heading into the last race of the European season, the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, they hope to rectify that problem and have a better victory. Leading into the Italian Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso, even though he drives a McLaren now and not Ferrari, still loved by the Tifosi in Monza, as he was a Ferrari driver since 2010. The two Ferraris obviously have Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen will be hoping to have a fantastic result. Sebastian Vettel heads into Monza in 2008. That was where he took his first victory with an Italian team of Toro Rosso. Now he's with an Italian team, and after many years of experience and his four World Championships back to back, he will be hoping to have another win and lift up the spirits. Obviously, Ferrari is a very passionate team in terms of winning, and so is Italy with the support that they get from their home country. So heading into their home race, it should be a good one. Likewise, the two Red Bulls will be wanting to rectify their problems, especially Daniel Ricciardo with his second retirement in 3 races. So that was it from the Belgian Grand Prix. It was a good eventful race, especially we've had 2 eventful races back to back, which is good to see for almost all the Formula 1 fans out there. We want eventful, fun races, but in the end it was the Mercedes who took first and second, Lewis Hamilton equaling Ayrton Senna on victories. And he extends his lead at the top of the table. And speaking of the drivers' table, he extends his lead, and it makes it hard for Nico Rosberg to now catch him. Probably Nico Rosberg is one of the only contenders that could catch Lewis Hamilton, but if Sebastian Vettel pulls a few wins out of the bag, he could be the third person to catch him. Sebastian is currently one of the only people to catch him in the table. Anyway, so that's about it for my review show of the Belgian Grand Prix. I'll be making a few videos, including my preview of the Italian Grand Prix, so please stay tuned for that. Likewise, please like and subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube channel. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later.